Are you okay with that? I go, am I okay with that? It's the night before shooting. What am I going to say? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not working. No, forget it. And he goes, oh, okay, sorry, man, but that's the way it is. They can't do a black widow, but they got a tarantula. He goes, you're not afraid of spiders? And I go, well, no, not really, but no, I'm fine. But and then he goes, oh, but you know what? I think it's going to be okay because what I heard was that the spider's been defanged. Okay? Defanged. And I go, oh, okay, great. And I don't know what the hell he's talking about, right? And he goes, yeah, so it can't bite you. It can't bite. It's like no big deal. So you're going to be okay. And I go, okay, great. We're good. We're good to go. Big, massive, tarantula, defanged. Who cares? So I show up for work the next day, and they go, oh, you want to meet the spider wrangler? That's what they call this. Whenever there's an animal, it's like a horse wrangler, or, cow wrangler, spider wrangler. Like, it gives the illusion that the thing's going to get away. They're going to, like, wrangle it. So, of course, it's like the lady's insane. Because she spends all her time with, like, huge, killer bugs. She's nuts. And I go up to her, and I see from about, like, a few yards away, she's holding her hand out, and it looks like she's got, like, a ski mitt on her hand. Like a big furry ski mitt. And then I see the hand just go like this. And I'm like, oh my God. Seriously, the thing was massive. Like way bigger than I thought, right? And I go up to her and she goes, and she's like, hi, how are you? Of course she's from like the southern states. How are you doing, honey? So what do you think? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's great. And she goes, so are you going to be okay around this bad boy? And I'm like, yeah, well, I should be fine because, it's been defanged. So she goes, what? I goes, been defanged. I heard he was defanged. She goes, yeah, it's been defanged. How's he going to eat? I'm like, oh yeah. So he hasn't been defanged? No, he hasn't been defanged. So I'm like, oh my God, now I'm on set. And like up until like 4 seconds ago, I thought this spider was defanged. Now I know that he's like fully loaded and ready to go. Right? So I go off and I'm like, and I get the AD. I go, he told me he was defanged. He goes, no, this is what he told me. So like we're nowhere, right? So I go and get changed for my scene, and I have to put this suit jacket on, and the camera's behind me, and then the spider crawls out of the jacket. And they have to put the thing on the back of my shirt, and then I slowly come around, and then it crawls up, and I can't even describe the full-on creepiness. I can't describe it to you unless you've had this spider just like touch the back of your neck like this. Oh my God. Like I wasn't scared, I was just creeped out. Because as soon as it started, but then it stopped and they wanted it to keep walking. And they're like, can we get the spider to walk anymore? And then, it's a spider, you can't chap it. Yeah, walk far enough. Go up the jacket a little more. Oh yeah, okay, sure. Okay. I didn't realize you wanted to be that high. Okay. No, it's like, so you go, what are we going to do to make the spider? The thing would not move. So if you ever see that show again, these are all the behind the scenes stuff that I love hearing personally. Anyway, they get this plastic tube, clear plastic tube in it, and they put it up my jacket. And they put it just right near the spider's ass, and they just blow into it. And the spider's like, what the hell? So blow me out my ass, I'm getting out of here. And he crawls out. That's how they got the spider to move, blowing hot air on his ass. Oh my God. And when I turn around, because I had to like put the jacket on like this, and then I had to turn around, then because at that point, you don't see the spider biting me, but you kind of, it's implied, right? And I turn around and I'm facing the camera, and I'm just kind of putting my jacket on. And behind the camera, the director is like this. always a good sign when you're dealing with a deadly animal on your neck. So that's my dead-like the experience. The shooting show was fine, but that was like, whoa. Sorry, any other questions? Right there, sir.
Where were you during Series 3? There was someone else sitting in that chair.
Yeah, I know. Let's talk about that, shall we?
They find his body.
I think what happened was, okay, here's a little insight for you. This is what happens. I get hired, do season 1, do like about 14 episodes of season 1. It's like amazing. I'm like, yeah, ride the gravy train. Woo! Season 2, not as many episodes, but it's okay. Then season 3, because I wasn't a contracted player like the others, they just sign up at the beginning of each season. They go, okay, you're in God knows how many episodes. And I literally, this is what that young lady right there for 10, when you asked me about being in the show for 10 years, this is what makes it even more amazing, is that I went from episode to episode. Like, I was never given X number of episodes, like, you're going to be in like 5 episodes or whatever, guaranteed or anything like that. I went from episode to episode, so it was basically, I was as good as my last episode, right? And so what happened was, I could still audition for other shows. So I could work on things like Dead Like Me and all that stuff while Stargate was going. But I treated Stargate like I was a contracted player. I gave it my priority because the show looked like it was never going to go away. And I was like, I want to be part of that. So one time I got on another show that was actually shooting on the lot of where Stargate shot. And there was a conflict, like they overlapped one day. The show that I was working on and Stargate, and the agents are great, they really try to work it out, but there was an overlap of one day, and Stargate was like, no, we need him. And my agent said, well, he's already signed for this other show, so he can't renege on that contract. And they went, okay. And that's when we started. But I think at that point they went, well, we can't rely on this guy. He's going to be, he's looking for other work and stuff. And then it was like, I just like fell off the radar. And I was just freaked out because I thought, this gig is like ended, right? And they tried a whole bunch of people out, and then they brought me back. It was like, it was meant to be. My Andy Akita, one of the directors, a friend of mine, he just said at some point they were having a production meeting, and they went, oh, come on, that's Gary's chair. The chair beckoned, and I ended up coming back and getting more and more episodes. Yeah. That's it.
Thank
you very much. I'll be back, I think, at noon.
And now we're also we're going to do a quick interview with Telstra, so that'll be online, so you can think. Now, Gary will be doing the photo session, I think, from at 1:45, and we'll be signing autographs from 2:30 till 5 today as well. So make sure you check that out.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming out and chatting with me.